Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new video. Today we'll be asking the question, should you play Susano? Susano's lore states that he grew up as a tempestuous boy with a wicked tongue, a sharp mind, and a love for destruction. For this, his father Izanagi condemned him to live in the underworld. Once Susano heard of this, he went off on a rampage of vandalism and murder, which sent his sister Amaterasu into hiding. Ashamed, Susano descended to the underworld and lived in its caverns for years. One day he decided to venture out of its dark home, and during his journey he encountered an elderly couple with their young daughter. They told him that they had 8 children once, but no longer, due to the massacre the 8-headed serpent caused. Susano told the parents he would slay the monster to avenge their children, and so he could atone for his crimes. 8 traps he laid, one for each of the monster's heads, and 8 days he waited, until eventually the great beast slithered forward to take the bait. At an instant the rope was cut and the gates were dropped on all 8 heads. For Susano the process was simple. 8 slices was all it took. Now a changed man, Susano is seen on the battlefield of the gods, but his fight is not truly with his enemies, but with himself. He is a raging summer storm, struggling to focus that destructive power of evil, and atoning when the innocent are harmed. Susano's passive, swift as a summer storm, gives him additional movement speed for every ability that is on cooldown, stacking up to 4 times. His first ability, Storm Kata, Susano moves thrice in quick succession. After each attack, he has up to 3 seconds to fire the next one. On his first attack, he attacks all enemies in a cone. On his second attack, he attacks all enemies in a circle, and on his third attack, he dashes forwards. And here are the stats. For his second ability, Wind Siphon, Susano commands the winds to blow, dealing damage in a cone in front of him. Enemies in the center of the attack are also pulled towards him, and here are the stats for that. For his third ability, Jet Stream, Susano throws forward a gust of air which creates a whirlwind, dealing damage every 0.75 seconds for 3 seconds. He may activate this ability again to teleport to the whirlwind. If the initial gust hits an enemy, the whirlwind surrounds and travels with them. Teleporting to the enemy reduces his cooldown to 8 seconds. And here are the stats for that ability. For his ultimate ability, Typhoon, Susano summons a hurricane at his location that pulls enemies up towards the center while growing to twice its size. Susano may activate this ability again to launch the storm into the direction he is facing, knocking up opponents in his path. And here are the stats. For maxing his abilities, I like to max Storm Kata first, and then Jet Stream, and then Wind Siphon. Obviously, whenever you've got the chance to put your points into your ultimate, do it, because it's really worthwhile, and it's a very effective ultimate. For his build path, this is basically what I build. I go for a very high damage assassin kind of build, based on his role, because most of the builds that are recommended are very tanky, and even in the top lane I think just going full assassin is really overpowered, because once you get a small lead on your enemy you can just start to snowball. Now that I've told you how to build him, I'm going to tell you how to play him. So, Susano I like to take top lane, because that's pretty much where I main him. I main him in the top lane. You could also take him in the mid lane, like I've said, and in the jungle, and maybe even support. I've tried a support game with Susano once, and I went 8-0. So yeah, that was pretty fun. You want to build very high damage and go very assassin-like, because his role is definitely assassin. But with the build pass that they recommend you, it's all very tanky builds in the top lane and things like that, and that kind of annoys me, because most people don't get to see his true potential. So what you want to do is you really want to try and get first blood or just a kill on your enemy laner in any lane, and then try to start roaming on the other lanes to try and accumulate more kills. If you can get 2 or 3 kills in the early game, you tend to snowball quite a bit, and then your capability of split pushing is very high. The enemy jungler won't be able to catch you out if you split push because of your increased mobility, your ridiculously high mobility with your passive and your other abilities, and you don't end up getting caught out that much, which is really good. When it comes to counters to Susano, I think Odin is a very strong counter to him because of his incredible wave clear and how he can push out the Susano and even catch him out with his leap combo. Susano does counter most squishy gods in this game. Almost all of them. He can go pretty well with people like Herc and Shark and, you know, your standard top laners. And besides Odin, there aren't many very heavy counters to him because of his incredible mobility, high damage, etc., etc. Now, to answer the question you've all been waiting for, should you play Susano? Yes, you should. Go kill everybody, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Like if you enjoyed this video, dislike if you didn't. Tell me what I did wrong in the comments, and see ya.